1 week ago, this story was about desire and privilege. Then, it turned into a mystery of death.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Silent Witness. Here, we share crime stories, mysteries, and haunting real-life cases.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the next part of these stories or our upcoming new videos.
Now, let's step into the story and uncover the secrets that were never meant to be heard.
Skyline blazed orange as Sheikh Khalid's private jet touched down. A week away, a visit meant for pleasure, but shadows of deceit were already trailing him. Every polished window, every hum of engines whispered secrets that were about to unravel. This arrival was more than a flight, it was the first act of a story drenched in wealth, desire, and impending betrayal. Little did he know, a chain of events would soon turn his world upside down. He stepped into the California sun, calm, confident, unaware of the storm awaiting him. The briefcase in his hand carried more than documents, it carried ambitions, secrets, and delicate balances of power. Behind the sunglasses, his eyes reflected charm and vulnerability. This journey would blend opulence with danger, desire with treachery, and pleasure with peril. Every movement, every handshake, would ripple into consequences far beyond what he could foresee, setting the stage for a narrative that would shock the world. Under the blanket of darkness, the mansion gleamed like a fortress of wealth and secrets. Lights flickered across expansive halls, hiding whispered conversations and plans unknown. Within these walls, clandestine meetings and secret negotiations would unfold. Luxury and danger intertwined here, where appearances masked a brewing storm. Unseen behind the gates, trust and deceit played a delicate game that would culminate in shocking revelations, forever changing lives entwined in this gilded prison of power and desire. Surrounded by opulence, Khalid's sanctuary seemed impenetrable. Gold and gadgets glimmered under soft lights, each item a testament to success and influence. Yet, amid this glittering world, tension simmered. Love, betrayal, and secrets intertwined in the shadows, suggesting that even the richest sanctuaries could not protect him. Every object whispered stories of ambition, greed, and the delicate fragility of trust, a silent reminder that wealth could never fully shield one from human unpredictability and the cunning plans of those closest to him. Silent messages flickered across the screen, invisible to the naked eye but potent in their consequences. Every word carried tension, persuasion, and subtle threats. Behind these encrypted lines, plans were forming, actions that would soon transform trust into treachery, affection into danger, and secrecy into tragedy. The unseen communication became the heartbeat of a story where wealth, desire, and betrayal collided. Each notification was a whisper of the storm to come, signaling the fragile balance of relationships about to shatter irrevocably. She entered with a grace that captivated and unnerved. Every step, every glance, hinted at charm and hidden intentions. Little did he know, her allure masked a calculated mind, capable of orchestrating events that would unravel lives. In the dim light, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation and subtle danger. Behind the elegance lay strategy and deceit, where affection and manipulation intertwined. This was more than a meeting. It was the opening move in a deadly game of trust, betrayal, and high-stakes intrigue. The papers lay scattered like breadcrumbs leading to secrets no one wanted revealed. Financial statements, letters, and encrypted notes whispered stories of ambition, power, and manipulation. Khalid's world, once seemingly controlled, now showed cracks in its golden veneer. Every signature, every calculation, hinted at the forces maneuvering behind closed doors. In this quiet, shadowed room, the tension was palpable. The room held not just numbers, but motives, strategies, and hidden agendas, foreshadowing a confrontation that would shatter the illusion of security and wealth. From above, the city sparkled like 1,000 tiny fires, oblivious to the storm brewing within Khalid's life. The skyline reflected success, but shadows stretched long across ambition and desire. Alone in his penthouse, he faced decisions that could tip the balance between fortune and disaster. Secrets, whispers, and unseen forces lurked in every corner, threatening to unravel not just plans, but trust itself. The night was serene yet loaded with tension, a silent witness to the drama about to unfold below, where wealth and danger would collide in deadly ways. A simple exchange, yet fraught with consequence. The envelope carried more than paper, it held influence, promises, and potential betrayal. Every subtle movement, every glance around the room, carried weight. Decisions made in these shadowed moments would ripple far beyond the immediate exchange, touching lives, fortunes, and trust. Behind closed doors, power and manipulation intertwined seamlessly, transforming what appeared ordinary into a catalyst for catastrophe. This moment of secrecy marked the beginning of consequences no one could anticipate, and the unfolding of a drama filled with greed, desire, and danger. The mist clung to the alley like a silent witness, shrouding the path of secrets and hidden intentions. Shadows stretched unnaturally, hiding movements and whispers. Every step echoed with tension, every breath carried uncertainty. Here, fate would collide with ambition, desire, and betrayal. The night held both danger and revelation, preparing the stage for actions that would alter lives forever. In this seemingly quiet place, decisions were made, paths were chosen, and the delicate balance between trust and treachery teetered on the edge, ready to collapse in shocking ways. The grand hallway stretched endlessly, adorned with priceless art and the echoes of footsteps that betrayed both power and isolation. Khalid walked with measured steps, yet beneath his composed exterior, a storm of tension simmered. Every painting, every sculpture seemed to whisper warnings, reminders that wealth cannot shield against deceit. The polished marble reflected not just the lights above, but the fragility of control. His mind raced through meetings, negotiations, and promises made to allies and confidants. Unseen eyes observed his every move, hidden motives lurking behind smiles and handshakes. The grandeur of the hallway masked the volatility of human desires, where affection could twist into betrayal and trust could unravel at the slightest provocation. Each step he took brought him closer to decisions that would forever change his fate. Shadows lengthened and converged, foreshadowing a collision of ambition, manipulation, and unforeseen danger that would soon erupt, turning luxury into a stage for suspense, intrigue, and ultimately, tragedy. The wind whipped past as the convertible tore along the cliffside, the ocean's roar mingling with the rapid heartbeat of the driver. Khalid gripped the wheel, aware that every mile carried both promise and peril. Twilight cast shadows that danced across the dashboard, mirroring the uncertainty of the path ahead. Messages from the past, warnings unheeded, and secret deals filled his mind, each one a potential spark for conflict. Somewhere behind the calm exterior, tension coiled like a spring, ready to release. The road seemed endless, yet every curve, every turn, brought him closer to an encounter that had been orchestrated long before he arrived. Even the setting sun, brilliant and beautiful, could not mask the gathering darkness of human intent. In these fleeting moments, the line between safety and danger blurred, and Khalid's journey became a metaphor for the fragile balance between desire, trust, and the inevitable collision of hidden agendas waiting to surface in the most unexpected ways. The soft glow of candlelight painted the room in shades of gold and shadow, transforming the opulent dining hall into a theater of subtle tension. Khalid and his companion sat across from each other, smiles exchanged with precision, yet every glance carried unspoken words. The clink of glasses, the aroma of fine wine, and the glimmer of crystal created an illusion of romance and intimacy. Beneath this veneer, however, motives were shifting, calculated strategies unfolding silently between sips and gestures. Every toast, every laugh, masked undercurrents of persuasion, subtle threats, and manipulative charm. The air was thick with anticipation, a delicate dance of power and desire. In this room, love mingled dangerously with greed, and trust teetered on the edge of betrayal. One wrong move, one overlooked gesture, could ignite consequences that would ripple far beyond the walls of this mansion. The night, beautiful yet ominous, held secrets poised to explode, shaping destinies in ways that no one at the table could predict. The seconds passed with a quiet relentlessness, each tick of the watch echoing the inevitability of events yet to unfold. Khalid's wrist, adorned with a timepiece of exquisite craftsmanship, reflected the chandelier's golden light, creating a kaleidoscope of shadows on his hands. Every moment, measured and precise, carried weight beyond mere hours. Plans made, promises broken, and alliances forged or fractured, all converged within the silent counting of time. The watch became a witness, a symbol of control slipping through grasping fingers. Each tick reminded him that decisions deferred could no longer be postponed, that hidden schemes were drawing nearer, that trust could crumble with a single misstep. Around him, luxury shimmered as a fragile veneer; beneath it, tension pulsed like a heartbeat, ready to erupt. The delicate balance between power, desire, and deception was maintained only by awareness of timing, and the smallest error could trigger consequences irreversible, shaping destinies and altering lives in the most unforeseen ways. The river lay silent, shrouded in morning mist that curled around the surface like fingers reaching for secrets. The first light of dawn struggled to pierce the haze, casting a silver glow that danced on the gentle ripples. Somewhere in the distance, the outline of a figure moved with purpose, silent yet deliberate. The calm surface belied the tension beneath, hinting at events that would soon disrupt the serenity. Nature itself seemed to pause, bearing witness to decisions made in secrecy and actions driven by ambition, greed, and desire. Every ripple, every shadow, told a story of hidden intentions, silent negotiations, and danger poised to strike. The river was more than water and mist; it was a stage for fate, carrying both opportunity and peril. In its quiet, the world held its breath, awaiting the collision of human ambition and betrayal that would transform tranquility into chaos and leave a trail of irreversible consequences. The rain-slicked streets reflected the dim glow of streetlights, turning the asphalt into a mirror of the night's secrets. Khalid's sleek car rested quietly beneath the lights, a solitary witness to a world that had been moving faster than he realized. Each drop of rain mirrored the subtle tension coursing through his veins, the knowledge that unseen forces were converging on him. Empty streets amplified every sound, the hum of engines, the whisper of wind, the distant echo of footsteps. The calm exterior of the city masked the undercurrents of betrayal, manipulation, and plotting that surrounded him. He moved with caution, aware that every shadow might conceal intention, every corner might hide consequence. This night, beautiful yet ominous, carried with it choices and dangers that would define outcomes far beyond this single moment. In the solitude, Khalid faced a delicate balance between trust and deception, between ambition and vulnerability, where one misstep could set irreversible events in motion. The study hummed with quiet intensity, papers stacked in uneven piles, each one a piece of a larger puzzle no one outside could see. A laptop screen glowed softly, casting a pale light on the red folder marked "Confidential." Within these walls, secrets whispered and plans unfolded with deliberate care. Khalid sifted through financial statements, encrypted emails, and contracts that concealed both opportunities and threats. Every document told a story of manipulation, persuasion, and hidden agendas, revealing how trust had been slowly corroded. Outside, the night pressed against the windows, indifferent yet conspiratorial, as if even the shadows conspired with human intent. Every decision, every calculation carried consequences, shaping a path that intersected with ambition, desire, and betrayal. In this room, power, wealth, and secrecy collided, creating a tension that was palpable. The faint sound of a distant clock ticked relentlessly, reminding that time was a witness and an accomplice, and that the unfolding drama was about to reach a critical turning point. The safe door creaked open, revealing its gleaming contents, gold bars stacked meticulously, confidential documents hidden among their weight, and secrets too dangerous to be spoken aloud. Khalid's fingers traced the edges of the papers, feeling the tangible weight of wealth and risk intertwined. Every item carried significance: financial leverage, promises, hidden threats, and opportunities that could shift power in an instant. The shadows cast across the vault seemed almost sentient, stretching and bending to cloak the magnitude of what lay within. This was more than a storage of material wealth, it was a repository of influence, control, and the potential for betrayal. Decisions made here could tip the balance between prosperity and ruin, between trust and treachery. Each document was a whisper of strategy, each bar of gold a testament to ambition. In the silence, Khalid understood that power was fragile, that even the most secure walls could not contain the storm of human desire and deception converging outside, ready to strike with precision and intent. The city breathed in neon and rain, its reflections splintering across wet pavement like fragments of hidden truths. In the glow of flickering signs, shadows moved with intent, concealing actions both mundane and sinister. Khalid navigated this urban labyrinth with caution, aware that even the brightest lights could not illuminate the subtle currents of betrayal weaving through the streets. Every alleyway hinted at secret exchanges, every reflective puddle mirrored possibilities of consequence. Deals were made in silence, plans shifted in whispers, and alliances teetered precariously on trust that could crumble in an instant. The urban night, dazzling and dangerous, became a stage where ambition, desire, and hidden agendas intersected. Each step he took resonated with tension, carrying him closer to encounters that would test loyalty, reveal deceit, and challenge the delicate balance between control and vulnerability. In this city of lights and shadows, every choice had the power to ignite a chain reaction, shaping destinies in ways unseen yet inevitable. The hallway stretched into darkness, lit by flickering lights that cast dancing shadows along the ornate walls. Each step echoed in the silence, amplifying the tension that had been simmering unseen for days. Khalid's presence in this corridor was deliberate, each footfall measured, yet unaware of the eyes that followed, the plans being executed in parallel to his movements. The grandeur of the mansion provided an ironic contrast to the subtle danger permeating the air. Wealth and luxury could not shield him from human cunning, nor the manipulations of those he trusted most. Every shadow seemed alive, every creak in the floorboards a signal of concealed intentions. As he progressed, the tension thickened, the invisible threads of intrigue weaving a web of consequences that would soon entangle him. This hallway was not just a passage, it was a silent witness to schemes, desires, and the brewing collision of ambition, deception, and the inevitability of betrayal. The rooftop garden seemed serene, illuminated by a soft glow of city lights below, yet the stillness was deceptive. Khalid stepped carefully, feeling the cool breeze on his face, unaware that every shadow held unseen observers. The manicured plants, elegant fountains, and ornate railings created a peaceful illusion, masking tension that coiled invisibly. Each step forward echoed in his mind like the ticking of a clock, marking the approach of moments that could not be undone. Somewhere among the twinkling lights, decisions were being monitored, plans were being executed, and alliances quietly shifted. His presence in this space was deliberate, yet unseen forces moved like currents beneath the surface, guiding events toward outcomes shaped by greed, desire, and calculated intent. The calm of the night, the distant hum of traffic, and the fragrance of flowers mingled with the weight of secrecy. Khalid was moving through beauty and danger simultaneously, where the line between safety and betrayal blurred into shadows, and destiny waited silently to intervene. The black leather briefcase rested on the polished surface, its sleek exterior reflecting the dim glow of a chandelier above. Every crease, every scratch on its surface hinted at journeys traveled and secrets carried within. Khalid's hand hovered momentarily, aware that what lay inside could influence destinies, power balances, and the fragile web of trust surrounding him. The contents, a blend of documents, contracts, and encrypted files, held the potential to manipulate fortunes and control decisions beyond the room's walls. Shadows stretched across the table like fingers reaching to obscure intentions, emphasizing the tension embedded in every detail. The briefcase was more than an object, it was a silent witness to ambition, desire, and deception. Its mere presence transformed a quiet room into a stage of intrigue, where subtle choices could cascade into irreversible consequences. Each opening, each glance at its contents, revealed the delicate dance between control and vulnerability. The tension was tangible, reminding all who approached it that even in luxury, secrets carry both power and peril. The rain painted the city in streaks of neon, turning streets into liquid mirrors that reflected both beauty and hidden danger. Khalid moved alone, his figure cloaked in shadows, every step echoing softly against the wet pavement. The rhythmic patter of rain mixed with distant sirens, creating a soundtrack of suspense that mirrored the turbulence in his life. Neon reflections flickered unpredictably, much like the motives surrounding him, ever-shifting, deceptive, and impossible to fully grasp. Alliances could break with a whispered word, promises could unravel in silence, and every alley concealed decisions that might seal his fate. As he walked, the city seemed to watch, a maze of opportunity and peril entwined. Each puddle mirrored choices not yet made, each shadow hinted at unseen watchers. In this urban labyrinth, wealth and influence offered no protection. Khalid navigated through tension and anticipation, unaware that the night, beautiful yet ominous, held twists and revelations that would soon collide with his carefully controlled life. The office was silent, save for the faint hum of city lights filtering through tall windows. Documents lay scattered across a mahogany desk, each sheet containing whispers of deals, hidden agreements, and secrets waiting to be unveiled. Khalid paced slowly, aware that every decision, every signature, carried consequences beyond the polished floors and panoramic views. Shadows of ambition and manipulation crept along the walls, echoing the invisible tensions he could feel pressing against him. Luxury could not shield against human volatility, the richest rooms often hid the darkest intentions. Outside, the city thrummed with life, indifferent yet observant, while inside, the air was heavy with anticipation. Every glance at the papers reminded him that trust was fragile, loyalty uncertain, and deception always near. In this calculated environment, each choice shaped not only fortunes but relationships, power dynamics, and outcomes that might never be reversed. The office was a stage, and the tension was the invisible director orchestrating the drama of ambition, greed, and unforeseen betrayal. The city stretched endlessly beneath Khalid, lights twinkling like distant stars reflected in glass and water. His eyes caught their shimmer, yet he was not admiring beauty, he was calculating, contemplating, anticipating. Decisions made in the coming hours could ripple far beyond his penthouse, touching lives, fortunes, and trust networks he had built over decades. Every reflection on the glass mirrored both opportunity and peril, reminding him that control was an illusion when human ambition and desire collided unpredictably. Shadows of manipulation lingered in corners he could not see, whispers of hidden intentions brushed against his thoughts. In this solitude, he felt the weight of unseen forces moving silently toward confrontation, where decisions could ignite chaos or secure advantage. Wealth and luxury provided no sanctuary from the subtle, relentless pressure of strategy and deceit. As he watched the city pulse below, Khalid understood that night, like life, could shift in an instant, and that the balance between safety and danger teetered on the finest of edges. The bedroom was silent, lit only by the soft glow of ambient lights that reflected on polished surfaces and cast long shadows across rumpled sheets. Khalid sat at the edge of the bed, tension coiling around him like the folds of fabric beneath his hands. Every object in the room, the scattered documents, the untouched glass of water, the faint scent of cologne, spoke of human presence, intention, and consequence. Outside, the city slumbered, oblivious to the subtle war of motives within these walls. Here, trust was tested, loyalties questioned, and decisions weighed with precision. The room, intimate and luxurious, became a stage for silent confrontations, where gestures, glances, and unspoken words carried power. A plan executed wrong could lead to irreversible outcomes, a missed signal could unravel weeks of careful strategy. Every heartbeat, every breath, echoed with the anticipation of what was to come. Within this cocoon of luxury, tension thrummed like a hidden drum, signaling that the line between desire and danger, love and betrayal, was perilously thin. Raindrops fell softly, pattering against leaves that shimmered under the faint glow of garden lights. Khalid moved cautiously, aware that every step could trigger unforeseen consequences. The wet soil absorbed his weight silently, yet his mind raced with scenarios, suspicions, and calculations. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the manicured hedges, seeming to twist with hidden intent, while reflections of lights in puddles hinted at distorted truths and concealed motives. The garden, peaceful at first glance, concealed secrets that waited to be uncovered. Each rustle of leaves was a reminder that alliances could fracture in an instant, that trust could be manipulated with ease. Nature became a silent witness to schemes, deceptions, and whispered plans carried by the night. Every movement Khalid made was a negotiation between caution and necessity, between awareness and curiosity. The rain, cold and persistent, seemed to mirror the weight of human ambition pressing on him. Here, beauty and danger intertwined, signaling that the events about to unfold would redefine boundaries, revealing both desire and betrayal in unexpected forms. The yacht rested silently, rocking gently on calm waters, bathed in the silver glow of moonlight. Khalid's reflection shimmered on the surface, blurred by the ripples that mirrored uncertainty in his mind. Luxury surrounded him, yet comfort was a fragile illusion. The night held silent threats that the lights could not dispel. Every shadow along the deck seemed to conceal intentions, whispers, and movements unseen, while the vast expanse of water emphasized isolation and vulnerability. On board, documents, devices, and hidden treasures carried stories of power, manipulation, and human desire. Decisions made in this serene yet tense environment could shift fortunes, friendships, and loyalties irreversibly. Even the gentle lapping of waves seemed like a countdown, signaling that time was a silent observer of events orchestrated beyond sight. Khalid knew that every step, every glance, and every choice carried weight, and that the opulent surroundings could not protect him from ambition, deception, or the unpredictable consequences of human behavior converging silently around him. The pen glided over the paper with a deliberate grace, leaving inked traces that would bind fortunes, obligations, and fates. Khalid's hand moved with precision, aware that each signature carried weight far beyond the immediate moment. Contracts, agreements, and legal stipulations concealed layers of influence, power plays, and covert maneuvers, their significance magnified by the quiet tension in the room. The lighting highlighted the ritual of authority, casting shadows across pages that told stories of ambition, manipulation, and calculated decision-making. Outside, the world continued oblivious, yet within these walls, destinies hung precariously. Every word inked on the paper could unlock opportunity or ignite conflict, every stroke could secure loyalty or invite betrayal. This act of signing was not merely administrative, it was a negotiation with fate itself, a deliberate choreography where wealth, desire, and human vulnerability intertwined. Khalid's mind raced with the implications, aware that trust was fragile, alliances were delicate, and that in these quiet, deliberate moments, the wheels of power spun toward outcomes both expected and dangerously unforeseen. Above the city, Khalid surveyed the sprawling expanse, a sea of lights reflecting ambition, desire, and the invisible currents of human activity. From this height, the world seemed controllable, yet he knew that even the grandest vantage could not guarantee security. Every illuminated window suggested secrets, every shadow hinted at intentions hidden from sight. The helicopter's hum was a constant reminder of movement, progression, and the inevitability of time pressing forward. He pondered choices, alliances, and threats, knowing that in moments of isolation, clarity and danger coexist uneasily. The night's quiet offered reflection, but also foreshadowed confrontation, manipulation, and the consequences of miscalculated trust. Beneath the rotors, the city's pulse mirrored his own, fast, unpredictable, and alive with hidden dynamics. Each light below was a story untold, a relationship strained, a plan in motion. Khalid's mind weighed decisions with precision, aware that the line between control and chaos was razor thin, and that the coming hours would transform his life and the lives intertwined with his influence, wealth, and choices. The balcony was silent except for the faint hum of the city below, lights twinkling like distant stars. Khalid leaned against the railing, absorbing the scene, yet his mind churned with unease. Mist rose along the buildings, blurring edges, creating a dreamlike yet ominous atmosphere. Every shadow seemed to whisper secrets, every flicker of light carried hidden intentions. Alliances formed and broke beyond the view of his eyes, and the consequences of unseen actions pressed silently on him. Wealth and power could not shield him from subtle manipulation, nor from the human desire for gain and influence. His presence in this secluded space was deliberate, a moment of contemplation amid chaos, yet he felt the invisible web of schemes tightening. The night held patience, tension, and anticipation, waiting for decisions to manifest and plans to collide. Each breath carried uncertainty, each heartbeat foreshadowed challenges, and the balcony became a silent witness to the complex interplay of ambition, trust, and betrayal waiting just beyond reach. The timepiece gleamed, catching reflections of the neon city below. Each tick echoed like a drumbeat, marking the passage of moments that could not be reclaimed. Khalid's fingers brushed the metal band, feeling the weight of decisions yet to be made. Time had become a silent observer, a relentless force dictating when plans must unfold and when patience must yield. Every second held potential, opportunity, danger, betrayal. The city lights reflected in the watch's surface seemed fragmented, symbolic of the complexity and fragility of alliances. In these fleeting moments, precision mattered, hesitation could mean loss, and miscalculation could unravel carefully laid strategies. The watch was both tool and witness, measuring not only hours but consequences. Khalid understood that control was illusionary. Time marched forward, indifferent to wealth, influence, or desire. Every tick resonated with anticipation, signaling that the intersection of ambition, secrecy, and human volatility was imminent. The night was poised, suspense hanging thick, ready to erupt as the delicate balance of trust and deception teetered on the edge of revelation. The helicopter descended silently, its rotors slicing through the cool night air. Khalid's arrival on the rooftop was precise, calculated, yet charged with tension. The city below pulsed with life, oblivious to the orchestrated encounters unfolding above. Lights glimmered on buildings like watchers, casting long shadows across the helipad. Every step he took, from the cabin to the edge of the rooftop, carried weight beyond mere presence. Each movement was part of a delicate choreography where trust, power, and ambition intertwined. Somewhere in the silence, plans aligned, threats lingered, and hidden agendas waited to collide. The anticipation of meeting unseen figures, the awareness of stakes far higher than appearances suggested, made the night electric. Even the breeze seemed loaded with secrets, stirring faint sounds that hinted at decisions being silently executed. In this suspended moment, luxury, strategy, and danger converged. Khalid's arrival was not just logistical, it was symbolic, a herald of negotiations, confrontations, and the unfolding of a narrative where wealth and influence could no longer fully shield him from human complexity and betrayal. The hallway stretched endlessly, lined with polished floors that mirrored flickering lights, elongating shadows into ominous shapes. Khalid moved cautiously, each step measured, his mind tracing possible scenarios and outcomes. The grandeur of the space belied the tension woven into every corner, as if the architecture itself bore witness to hidden schemes. Whispers of secrets seemed to cling to the walls, threatening to materialize into confrontation. Luxury and elegance could not shield against human deception or ambition. The finest floors could not hide betrayal lurking in subtle gestures and unseen movements. Every reflection, every muted echo of footsteps amplified suspense, signaling that decisions and alliances were reaching a critical juncture. Khalid's thoughts raced, parsing signals and anticipating motives, knowing that missteps could cascade into irreversible consequences. The hallway was both passage and stage, silent yet alive with expectation. Every shadow foreshadowed intrigue, every light revealed nuance, and every moment underscored the delicate balance between strategy, trust, and the unfolding of events that could shatter lives beyond these walls. The streetlight flickered intermittently, casting fragmented light over the polished surface of Khalid's car. Wet asphalt mirrored the glow, creating a distorted world of reflections and shadows that seemed to whisper warnings. Every detail of the scene, the quiet hum of the city, the distant sirens, the occasional rustle of leaves, heightened anticipation and unease. The car, a symbol of status and control, stood in contrast to the fragile security surrounding its owner. Khalid approached cautiously, sensing that the calm exterior of the night masked intentions and movements unseen. The reflections in puddles seemed almost sentient, hinting at the convergence of ambition, desire, and betrayal. Every passing second carried the weight of potential confrontation, every shadow could conceal opportunity or threat. In this brief stillness, tension coiled like a spring, ready to release. Luxury and power offered no immunity from human cunning. The night held both beauty and danger, signaling that the events unfolding were about to intersect with decisions, actions, and motives capable of altering lives irrevocably. The library exuded quiet authority, shelves lined with books that held knowledge, history, and the silent weight of human ambition. Khalid moved among them with intent, the warm glow of the lamps illuminating polished wood and worn pages. Every object, every book, seemed to hum with potential secrets, hidden motives, and stories that had never been spoken aloud. The room, intimate yet grand, became a theater of anticipation, where plans, conspiracies, and strategies intersected silently. Outside, the world slept, but inside, the air pulsed with tension. Every glance at a title, every adjustment of a document, carried significance beyond immediate perception. The library was both sanctuary and stage, offering wisdom while simultaneously concealing threats and opportunities. Khalid's mind raced, navigating the intricate web of human intention and deception, aware that the next step could either reinforce security or unravel carefully maintained control. In this haven of knowledge, suspense lingered, reminding that even the most fortified spaces could not escape the unpredictable collision of wealth, desire, and betrayal. The first light of dawn crept over the horizon, fog curling around skyscrapers like a veil concealing secrets. Khalid stood alone on the rooftop, absorbing the awakening city below, yet his focus was inward, on decisions, risks, and the invisible web of consequences weaving through his life. Each gentle breeze carried whispers of plans executed in shadows, alliances fragile and mutable, and the silent approach of outcomes he could not control entirely. The mist transformed familiar streets into a mysterious labyrinth, reflecting the uncertainty and tension gnawing at him. In this quiet solitude, the magnitude of trust, deception, and ambition became apparent. The city, vast and indifferent, bore witness to the fragile balance of human desires and hidden motives. Every thought, every calculation, was a negotiation with fate itself, and Khalid understood that the coming hours would challenge not only power and wealth but perception, loyalty, and the intricate dynamics of human behavior. The rooftop was a vantage, a witness, and a harbinger of the drama about to unfold. The corridor seemed endless, its walls stretching into shadows that flickered with the light of ancient sconces. Khalid's footsteps echoed softly, each step a deliberate act in a space charged with silent tension. The flickering lights created illusions, movement where there was none, shadows that hinted at presence, anticipation, and potential betrayal. Every corner of this passage concealed possibility, both of opportunity and threat. Wealth and influence provided no shield here, human intention moved independently, unseen yet omnipresent. Each heartbeat resonated with uncertainty, reminding him that a single misstep could unravel carefully balanced strategies. The corridor became a theater of suspense, where observation, calculation, and instinct determined outcomes. The air itself seemed to vibrate with secrecy, with alliances shifting and decisions being enacted invisibly. Khalid's awareness heightened with every second, knowing that luxury and status could not safeguard him from the unpredictability of ambition, desire, and human cunning. In this silent journey through shadows, he navigated a delicate equilibrium, aware that revelation, confrontation, or betrayal could emerge from any direction, forever altering the path before him. The riverbank lay shrouded in darkness, mist rising in delicate tendrils that blurred the line between water and night. Every ripple in the water reflected fragmented light, creating an illusion of movement where silence reigned. Khalid approached cautiously, aware that the calm was deceptive, concealing both danger and consequence. The air carried the faint scent of damp earth and anticipation, a reminder that events unseen could shift reality in an instant. Shadows of trees stretched over the surface like sentinels, guarding secrets that waited patiently to reveal themselves. Each sound, footsteps, rustling leaves, distant water lapping, heightened awareness and tension. Human motives, ambition, and betrayal coalesced invisibly, preparing to intersect with physical reality. In this space, decisions were magnified, intentions laid bare by the silent judgment of nature. The riverbank, serene yet ominous, became a witness, its quiet reflecting the precarious balance between trust, manipulation, and unforeseen consequences. Here, suspense thrummed like a heartbeat, signaling that the night was alive with the unfolding of events capable of forever altering lives. Khalid stood silently, eyes tracing the sprawling cityscape below, each light a story, a choice, a potential consequence. The reflections on the glass distorted reality, mirroring both opportunity and risk. His thoughts wove between calculations of power, assessments of trust, and the unpredictable behavior of those around him. Wealth offered illusionary control, yet he knew even a skyscraper could not shield him from human volatility or the silent currents of deception. Each flicker of neon below, each distant sound of the city, served as reminders that time and intention were converging toward pivotal moments. The skyline, vast and indifferent, bore witness to ambition and treachery alike. Every heartbeat resonated with tension, every breath carried anticipation. Khalid understood that decisions made here would ripple far beyond the penthouse, affecting lives, fortunes, and relationships. This view was both a vantage and a warning. Power without vigilance is fragile, and even in isolation, consequences of human ambition, betrayal, and desire are never far behind. The hallway was cloaked in shadows, the single ajar door allowing a sliver of light to spill onto the polished floor. Khalid moved cautiously, every step deliberate, aware that even the faintest sound could alert unseen eyes. The space was silent yet charged, every corner seemingly alive with possibility, hidden intentions, whispers of betrayal, and the weight of unspoken decisions. Luxury provided no protection here, the corridor was neutral ground where human ambition, desire, and deception intersected invisibly. Each echo of footsteps reverberated, amplifying tension, and the faint flicker of the light played tricks on perception. Khalid's mind raced, weighing threats, assessing loyalty, and anticipating moves yet to be made. This hallway was both stage and witness, every shadow a silent actor in the unfolding drama. The air hung heavy with expectation, the kind that precedes confrontation or revelation. In this delicate balance, trust and risk intertwined, and even the most cautious moves could tip the scales toward chaos, forcing choices that would ripple far beyond these walls. The dining hall exuded elegance and secrecy, tables perfectly set under the warm glow of flickering candles. Khalid entered with measured steps, aware that every gesture, every glance, carried weight. The room was a theater of subtle tension, where appearances and reality diverged. Conversations had power beyond words, gestures held unspoken meaning, and alliances were silently tested. Each reflection on polished surfaces and crystal glass seemed to amplify the stakes, reminding him that even amidst luxury, vulnerability could flourish. The subtle clinking of silverware and faint whispers of the staff masked the undercurrents of negotiation, persuasion, and strategy. Every chair, every arrangement of plates, framed a stage where ambition, desire, and manipulation intersected. The room, grand yet intimate, became a battleground of influence, where decisions shaped fortunes and relationships alike. Khalid's mind calculated outcomes, considering loyalty and risk, knowing that in this setting, the smallest misstep could trigger consequences that echoed far beyond the dinner itself. This elegant tension signaled that even in the most refined spaces, intrigue thrives, and destiny is shaped in whispers as much as in action. The midnight office was a hive of silent strategy, the soft glow of the laptop illuminating stacks of papers, contracts, and encrypted notes. Khalid leaned over the desk, reviewing details that could tip balances, secure advantages, or ignite conflict. The hum of electronics and faint rustle of papers filled the otherwise still room, a reminder that even silence carries meaning when human ambition and deception intertwine. Each document represented power, opportunity, and potential betrayal, its weight magnified by the surrounding shadows. Outside, the city slept, unaware of decisions quietly shaping destinies within these walls. The meticulous arrangement of files, the careful annotation of figures, and the deliberate pace of movement spoke of precision and foresight. Every keystroke, every glance at the glowing screen was a negotiation with the unseen forces of consequence. Time pressed forward relentlessly, indifferent to wealth or influence, while the room became both sanctuary and stage, a place where trust, strategy, and human desire converged. Khalid knew the unfolding events were poised to challenge loyalty, test integrity, and redefine relationships. The fog clung to the mountainside, swirling around headlights that pierced the darkness with narrow beams of light. Khalid's car hugged the winding road, tires gripping wet asphalt as the vehicle sliced through the mist with quiet urgency. Each turn demanded focus, yet his mind raced beyond the road, calculating risks, anticipating threats, and considering unseen players maneuvering in parallel. The mountains echoed with the hum of engines and the whisper of wind, an indifferent witness to human ambition and danger converging. Every shadow along the cliffside seemed alive, suggesting movement, intentions, and unpredictable outcomes. Speed and isolation amplified vulnerability. Even wealth and skill could not guarantee safety against forces that acted beyond sight. The night was charged, suspense thick in the air, and anticipation mingled with dread. Every mile brought Khalid closer to a pivotal encounter, a confrontation scripted by unseen hands, where trust, deceit, and ambition would collide. The road demanded vigilance, yet the larger path, the one of influence, desire, and consequence, loomed far more treacherous, ready to redefine outcomes in ways no one could foresee. The hand moved deliberately, placing the note atop the polished desk with a faint rustle that seemed louder than it was. Khalid's eyes traced the words written in precise handwriting, each line carrying weight far beyond its simplicity. The note was more than communication, it was an instrument of influence, a silent agent of strategy, persuasion, or manipulation. Shadows cast by ambient lighting stretched across the paper, emphasizing the gravity and secrecy embedded within the message. Every gesture, every subtle movement, spoke volumes in this silent dialogue of power and intent. Outside, the world remained unaware, yet inside, decisions unfolded with irreversible consequences. The note could shift loyalty, spark ambition, or reveal betrayal. Every crease and placement suggested calculation, foreshadowing the events it would trigger. In this quiet act, tension coiled like a spring, ready to release its force. Khalid understood that the smallest action could ripple far beyond this desk, affecting relationships, fortunes, and trust. The room bore witness to the convergence of human desire, strategy, and the unpredictability of consequences. The river shimmered under the pale glow of moonlight, its surface disturbed only by subtle ripples reflecting uncertainty. Mist curled along the banks, hiding shapes and movements that suggested secrets waiting to emerge. Khalid approached cautiously, aware that the stillness was deceptive, concealing intentions as silent and calculated as the night itself. Each sound, the gentle lap of water, a rustle of reeds, the distant hum of civilization, amplified tension, highlighting the precariousness of human actions. Shadows seemed to move independently, echoing the unseen forces of manipulation, ambition, and concealed motives. In this delicate quiet, every decision held potential consequences, every gesture a ripple through an invisible network of trust, desire, and betrayal. Nature itself seemed to hold its breath as events silently aligned for confrontation, revelation, or catastrophe. Khalid sensed that the river, serene yet ominous, bore witness to intentions and outcomes beyond his control. Each step, each glance, carried weight, signaling that suspense, danger, and human unpredictability were ready to collide, transforming tranquility into tension with irreversible impact. The marble floor gleamed under the warm glow of chandelier lights, each reflection amplifying the tension in the grand foyer. Khalid stood poised, every gesture deliberate, yet his mind raced with the implications of choices made and decisions yet to come. The space was silent, yet it seemed to hum with anticipation, as if the walls themselves were aware of secrets, ambition, and the hidden interplay of human motives. Shadows stretched elegantly, hinting at unseen observers and invisible agendas waiting to converge. Wealth and grandeur could not shield against treachery or miscalculation. Luxury was only the backdrop for strategy, manipulation, and the fragile nature of trust. Every step, every breath in this foyer carried consequence, echoing far beyond polished stone and crystal lights. Khalid's contemplation was interrupted by the awareness that the unfolding night would test alliances, reveal intentions, and challenge control. In this opulent theater, suspense clung to the air, signaling that even the most meticulously crafted plans could unravel under the subtle pressure of ambition, desire, and betrayal. The corridor stretched into darkness, its walls absorbing light and amplifying shadows that reached like silent fingers. Khalid advanced cautiously, aware that each step carried weight beyond its sound. The faint glow at the end offered both hope and danger, a beacon masking threats and opportunities alike. Every shadow seemed to contain intention, every echo a subtle warning of unseen agendas. The space was charged with suspense, the air thick with anticipation, as human ambition, desire, and manipulation moved invisibly around him. Wealth, power, and influence offered no guarantees. Even the grandest corridors could conceal consequences far beyond immediate perception. Khalid's mind calculated the possibilities, considering loyalty, risk, and timing, knowing that a single misstep could trigger cascading effects. The corridor was more than a passage, it was a stage for unseen strategies, silent confrontations, and unfolding drama. Each heartbeat reverberated with tension, signaling that destiny, betrayal, and revelation were poised to emerge from the shadows, transforming expectation into irreversible reality. The penthouse stretched before Khalid like a kingdom of light and shadow, cityscape glittering through expansive glass walls. He moved deliberately through the luxurious space, aware that appearances were fragile masks concealing human motives, hidden desires, and calculated strategies. The room seemed to breathe, the soft hum of air conditioning and distant city noise blending with the tension that thickened in the air. Every piece of furniture, every reflection in polished surfaces became a silent witness to the choices and secrets contained within this space. Luxury provided comfort, yet could not insulate from betrayal, ambition, or manipulation waiting to erupt. Khalid's thoughts navigated the intricate web of influence and consequence, weighing loyalty against risk, and strategy against unpredictability. In this elevated sanctuary, suspense clung to every shadow, every corner, every reflective surface. The night carried anticipation, hinting at confrontations, revelations, and irreversible actions. The penthouse, both haven and stage, held the tension of human ambition waiting to collide with unforeseen events, promising drama, revelation, and the unmasking of true intentions. The sun sank slowly toward the horizon, casting the cliff in hues of amber and crimson, reflecting Khalid's contemplation of choices made and consequences faced. The vast landscape below seemed to mirror the complexity of human ambition, the highs of wealth and influence, and the shadows of betrayal that accompanied desire. He stood alone, absorbing the serenity while feeling the weight of decisions rippling across lives entwined with his. Every moment of reflection revealed lessons of trust, manipulation, and the fragile balance between control and chaos. The wind carried whispers of past actions, reminders that even power and luxury cannot shield against human unpredictability. In this cinematic moment, Khalid faced both endings and beginnings, the closure of one chapter and the anticipation of another shaped by consequences, lessons learned, and alliances forever altered. The setting sun symbolized not only beauty but inevitability, a reminder that life, ambition, and trust are fleeting, and that suspense, danger, and revelation are woven into every horizon we approach.